2025 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. Would you please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I am Barb Lewis, President this year. To my left is our Vice President, Jeff Benton. To my right, fellow Commissioner Gary Merrill, and our Administrator, Tracy Davies, our Deputy Administrator, Don Eustick, and our clerks, Jennifer and Brandy. We can begin.
Resolution number 25-375, in the matter of approving electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held May 19th, 2025.
So move.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-375. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today. That brings us to item number 3. Resolution number 25-376, in the matter of approving purchase orders and announce certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0521, memo transfers in batch number MT APR 0521, and procurement card payments in batch numbers PC APR 0521.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-376. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-377, in the matter of approving travel expense request.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-377. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-378, in the matter of granting annexation petition from agent for the petitioner Michael R. Shade, attorney at law, requesting annexation of 43.616 acres of land in Delaware Township to the city of Delaware.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-378. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-379, in the matter of acknowledging receipt of annexation petition from agent for the petitioner David Hodge Esquire and Eric Zartman Esquire, requesting annexation of 50.885 acres of land in Trenton Township to the city of Sunbury.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-379. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-380, in the matter of establishing new organization keys, approving supplemental appropriations, and revised revenue estimates.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion,
Good morning, Commissioners. Justin Avi, Director of Finance. This item has been submitted to modify the chart of accounts and budget for the Adult Court Services Department. They're consolidating 4 grants into 2 separate new orgs.
okay. Any questions? Vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-380. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Resolution number 25-381, in the matter of approving the request for proposals for the provision of services to support Delaware County's participation in the state of Ohio's ambulance supplemental payment program on behalf of Delaware County Emergency Medical Services.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion,
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeff Fishel, Director of EMS, Delaware County. Requesting your approval to go out for RFP for a contractor to help us with the Medicaid ambulance supplemental program, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
could you tell us just a little bit more about it?
Sure. Sorry. The program is something that we've been working on for quite a long time. It's a program that the Board of Commissioners issued a letter of support on, I think roughly 2 years ago now. And essentially what this program is, it's a federal drawdown of Medicaid money. Us as a local ambulance provider will submit through a third party. Right now we have a current 1-year agreement with a company called PCG. We will submit all of our costs to them, as well as what revenue did we receive from Medicaid treatment and transports. They then combined all of this data They submit it to the state Medicaid office, which then the state Medicaid office sends up to the federal government. There's a drawdown, and then that money passes through the state Medicaid office directly back to local ambulance providers like us. Last time I was in front of you talking about billing and this program, I kind of gave you an update about how they've knocked this down to roughly 10% of its original amount. Just to give you an idea of what that was, the original amount was going to be in the neighborhood of $140 million that all the ambulance services that signed up would be receiving. We're now down to $6 to $8 million. We've since spent some time speaking to local, or not local, but state representatives and senators about this, and I think there's a pretty big appetite to get it back up to where it was.
Okay, thank you. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-381. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution
Thank
number
you.
25-382, in the matter of approving change order number 2 to the contract with B-Corp Corporation for back box rental and services.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. So this is our second and final one-year extension of our 2023 contract with Fee Corp for vac box rental, hauling, and disposal. There's no change in contract price again for this year. Annually, we spend up to $90,000 on this service, and it's basically for any really large jobs, cleaning out tanks and large wet wells.
Okay. Vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-382. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 25-2838, sorry, in the matter of awarding a bid to and approving a contract with Vishnu Sewer of Ohio LLC for East Allen Creek Interceptor Rehabilitation.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
So this contract is to install a cast-in-place liner in our 21-inch sewer that we have along Africa Road. It goes down 71 and then crosses Jaycox Road. It's about 50 years old, and there's significant deterioration on the interior of this concrete pipe. So this liner will then restore that useful life for likely another 50 years. We did get 3 bids. The project is only going to take about 4.5 months to complete, but we gave a 12-month substantial completion window to try to encourage additional bids, which we feel like it worked. Low bid was $1.02 million, and our engineer's estimate was $1.48 million. So we're excited about getting this project done because it's been an issue for a long time.
This is something we'll have to slowly do through our whole system, correct? So-
Exactly, and we've really been starting that over the past about 5 years. Since Julie McGill has kind of relocated to our Allen Creek office, she works hand in hand every day with the collections department and identifying. They know where the issues are, but they're not able to put the bid documents together to have these projects see through to construction. So she's been instrumental in getting this program off the ground, which has been necessary for a while.
And you consider we're in a good place as far as where we are with the deterioration of the system, as far as when we're replacing it,
Yeah, we're really being proactive in making sure that we get out there and identify these issues ahead of time. We're at that point where we do have some 50-year-old sewers now, right? We're kind of just getting to that infancy stage of needing to do these rehab projects. A lot of other municipalities have been doing this forever, and they've always had a rehab program, and every single year have a pretty large budget for rehab projects. We're just starting that. I think we budget maybe $1 million a year at the most, which has only been about the past 2 years, but I see that continuing in the future.
I commend us staying ahead of the game, because you get behind on this kind of stuff, the capital improvements. It could be an issue down the
Yep.
road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we've seen other systems spend hundreds of millions of dollars rehabbing neglected systems.
Right.
And yeah, I echo Commissioner Merrill's comment that it's very important to stay in front of it.
Yeah, and I think, we're lucky we have a newer system. The majority of our pipe is PVC. So we're rehabbing old concrete pipe, truss pipe, things that were built 40, 50 years ago that we just don't use those materials anymore. So, we'll be able to kind of catch up with that and then see where we stand with the PVC stuff that's, newer in the system, in the next 10 or so years.
Vote, please.
Vote on motion 25-383. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye. Thank you, Tiffany.
That brings us to administrator reports.
Nothing today, thank you.
Just real quickly, Dawn Houston, Deputy Administrator. I attended the Delaware County Transit meeting last evening, and They had Representative Brian Lorenz in attendance to honor him for his support and advocacy for the Ohio Workforce Mobility Partnership Program. So he was very honored to be able to attend the meeting. He did help secure funding for Delaware County Transit. They are starting their workforce transportation study, which will be is part of their strategic plan. So they're very excited about that, and some connections that they've made with local businesses to be able to start that program and ensure that they are able to help get our residents to work. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Merrill?
I really don't have anything today. I could talk about softball, the fact that starts tomorrow, but I'm not gonna do it. So, which I think I just did do it. Oklahoma plays Alabama starting tomorrow night. I'll get playing series, so
Cut him off, he said he wasn't gonna
Yeah,
done
I
with it.
know.
that's
Well,
all I have.
I think you're out of order. Okay.
Commissioner Bennett?
Really nothing else, just wanted to, hope everyone has a good Memorial Day weekend and honors those who have fallen, to keep the United States the great country that it is, so, that's all I got.
That's right. I did attend the White House State Leadership Conference, Ohio, and this is the first of the conferences that the White House is going to have. We're first because J.D. Vance is from Ohio, and he wanted us to be first. So there were close to 75 commissioners there, and it was really worthwhile. It was bipartisan, and I know there's a new executive from Cuyahoga County, and he was there and offered some good comments. He was actually along with us just in the audience, but it was quite interesting. We had, starting off with Office of Intergovernmental Affairs, then Deputy Assistant to the President for Economic Policy, then Director of Domestic Policy Council of the U.S., Chief of Staff of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and she mentioned some programs that are available through agriculture. And then Intergovernmental Affairs Lead, Department of Defense. And two of the most interesting presenters, we had the Secretary, Lori Chavez DeFemer, and she is Secretary of Labor. And she was a very good speaker, and had mentioned she was in Columbus the day before, and she said, you know, I'll be glad to come in and talk to you. So she issued an open invitation, which I wrote down and starred. So if we ever want to talk with her, but she was quite good, and no notes, and mentioned a lot of her priorities, and one of them, she said that she really wants to bring awareness to awareness of what business wants and also labor to each other, meaning she wants to bring business and labor together at the same table. And she was a nominee that Labor backed. And she said the president wants to see metrics of progress, and again, very open to coming to our counties. And so that was quite interesting. Another highlight was the Secretary of Commerce, and he was very interesting, Secretary Howard Lutnick. He was due to meet with the president shortly, so I happen to be standing or sitting by one of his aides, and during the secretary's speech, which was quite good. Again, no notes. Mentioned that his model, the president's model, was a new U.S. industrial policy. And he mentioned Lordstown in eastern Ohio, a huge plant that was closed a few years ago. He said now the plant has been repurposed and highly automated. He talked about robotics and how really, he said a lot of the jobs, technical jobs, robotics jobs, are going to be, people would receive training for these positions, and you could do this training after you got just a high school education. And so that was quite interesting. But anyway, his aide was standing right by me, and then two more people started looking at the aide. He was kind of like, doing this, and then I guess he was, the secretary was due to meet the president. And then the secretary said, well, I just talked to him. It's okay if I'm late, So little things like that, but I thank Ohio County Commissioners Association too for squiring us around. And so quite interesting though, and anybody is free to talk to me about even more. I took a lot of notes, so. But that's all I have, and we do have executive.
We do have need for executive today. Resolution number 25-385, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of appointment and compensation of a public employer or public official to consider the purchase of property for public purposes for a pending or imminent litigation and for collective bargaining.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 25-385. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
We are now recessed into executive session.